start.
I believe.
Eesh.
It started.
Yay, welcome to Wired Weirdos. We're back to talk about random crap again. Woo!
Indeed, we are.
Anyway, I'm Magos.
I'm
I
Blorg Zombie.
I am Spanish Dexter.
Very nice. Anyway, what would we like to start talking about today, guys?
Uh, for me, it's probably gonna be some video game mods that I've been playing around with. They're mostly Resident Evil.
Ooh,
It's Resident Evil related. It's a minor one. Uh,
still sounds cool though.
and probably some new game stuff. I mean, I would love to talk
Oh
about
yeah.
Sonic the Hedgehog, but the news on that's been a little dry.
Yeah, they haven't talked about what they're doing for next year yet, have they?
No, they haven't, and everyone was like getting hyped around December 2nd, like, oh my god, there's gonna be something new, and everyone else is like, no, there isn't, because it's just stickers and like profile pictures that you
And,
can use.
and crossovers with things like Ninjala.
Yeah, that's really all it is.
Yeah. Oh well, at least they're doing something. I think it's pretty obvious that they're working hard on something. They're just like, well, we got to keep up something out there.
Right.
Yeah. Can't really blame any of the companies right now. It's just like, yeah, they're all kind of in a weird spot.
Well, Sega also is now having to deal with the fallout of the fact that they had to sell off their arcade division to another company.
Oh, that's right. I just heard about that. What exactly happened? Well, I think it's like because like people aren't really going to the casinos where a lot of like the pachinko machines and stuff are.
Yeah, that played a role in it. Um, Definitely played a role in it, and COVID just killed off their arcade business altogether.
Yeah. Wonder how Konami's doing.
There's been a couple things in the pipe for from Konami, from what I've been hearing. I heard through the grapevine that there's something going on with Silent Hill.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
They're actually making games again. Amazing.
yeah, I know. Hopefully, good games for once for them. I thought there was something else going on. The other big thing is that the devil was it? I just followed them on Twitter today. Um, they announced the next DDR tournament, I believe.
It's neat.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that would be pretty easy because you don't have to necessarily have people together to do that one. Cool.
Well, there's so many things that we can do to make it online right
Yeah.
now. I mean, but Japan is doing just fine with the virus and everything like that. But obviously, good old United States is not.
Well, let's not really get into that. It's a bit of a sad subject.
Well,
True.
outside of that piece of it, I think what plays a role in Japan being able to keep its video game industry up during this time is the fact that they have higher, faster internet connections than the United States could ever possibly dream of. There's a few places in the U.S. that has fiber internet where you can get like a gig or more of speed, but not many other places in the U.S. because our infrastructure is rather undeveloped. So that that can kind of screw up your experience, doing anything online, streaming or gaming. Whereas in Japan, it's like I can get fiber right to my apartment.
Yeah, and only around here it's like you have to live in like certain areas. Like a long time ago when I went to when my parents rented out a beach house, they had fiber.
Yeah, I remember
And
that place. That was a really nice house.
the speeds were ridiculously fast.
Nice. Yeah, on my end,
Only I was rich.
yeah, on my end, I haven't really been paying too much attention to like console stuff. Like, I've been playing more Steam, but like, I guess the only console thing for me is just Smash Brothers. Like, 2 new characters are out, and that's about it so far. Hoping for an announcement later this month for a third. But
Think
yeah,
good old Nintendo. I've been hearing a lot of stuff about them recently.
what about it?
A lot of YouTubers online. There was Nintendo was issuing DMCA for a
Oh,
lot of
right,
things.
right. Yeah, they're still doing that. There's also that Smash Bros. Tournament that got
Yep.
completely canceled.
Yep.
So, I'm kind of in the middle on that one. Like I see what both sides are saying, and really my big problem just really goes onto the whole like problem with copyright right now, where it's like I don't know. For as an artist myself in particular, when it comes to copyright, I could go on for hours about like how the whole thing functions and what we need to do to fix it. But I will just say that that's really what the problem is that it's not that Nintendo is necessarily being an asshole. It's that we need to revise and redo copyright and how it functions. That way Nintendo doesn't have to feel like they're constantly having to take people down all the time. If we had it so that certain things were not considered illegal anymore, then it would be a lot easier on everybody.
Yeah.
And
So,
somehow Sega makes it work.
well, the thing with Sega is that they're a bit more progressive than, say, Nintendo. Because you got to keep in mind, like Nintendo is like basically run by their old guard still, kind of thing. Like the guys who were running it in the '80s are basically still in charge, and that's really the biggest problem, I think. But with Sega, it's like they have their old guard, but they've also had like a bunch of new blood come in over the years, and it's kind of like a mixture now because of that.
Yeah,
So
that's true. Sega's had a lot more staff changes than Nintendo has ever had.
yeah, I think it also helps that, as weird as it is to say, I think it helps that Sega has had such financial issues that they've had to become creative with how they do things. So they've kind of found themselves like being like, okay, this is happening. Why don't we try something with this? And a lot of times it turns out to really work in their favor.
I think the thing for me with Nintendo and like why I don't really like them anymore as a company, like I had a lot of like good memories with them growing up. Obviously, they were like my first gaming system and everything like that. But like like even though I don't like, Smash Brothers or the Smash community as a whole, um it's just like I don't understand like how a company like them is like not fully behind. Like I can understand like not being maybe behind Melee or something like that because it's like a 20-year-old game at this point. I understand.
Right.
But not being behind like their newer product kind of thing. Like they've issued like DMCA's to YouTubers, to Twitch people for like just playing their game online and stuff like that. It's just or just streaming it and stuff, and it's just ridiculous, in my opinion.
Yeah, like I said, the problem is just like it's the old guard thing. It's like it's a
Mhm.
bunch of old men who just don't really understand that the world has changed dramatically around them since like the late 80s to early 90s,
Yeah.
and they're still going by older rules. Like I said before, it's why I feel copyright needs to be revised and
Oh yeah,
fixed up, like
definitely.
kind of thing. And it's just like they just don't really get it. Like as much as I like them, as much as I do feel they still do a lot of good stuff, it's like yeah, they're a bunch of old guys that really I don't necessarily want to say should get out of the way, but it's more like they should really be more accepting, like you said, of like newer things.
Yes.
So also I think like a lot of it comes from like the fact that Nintendo is a bit of a different company than a lot of other gaming companies
Hmm.
because they come from like a much different background. Like Nintendo, I would say, is probably the out of all the gaming companies, is probably the oldest one because they've been around literally since the 1800s.
I, yeah.
So
I
there's
mean,
that.
they're as old as me right now. It seems. Feels like some days. God,
Yeah,
I'm
it's
old.
so. And it's like they're a toy company, so they come from the idea of where toys come from. It's part of like their charm. It's like how each and every one of their consoles has like a gimmick to it, kind of thing.
Mhm.
Meanwhile, other consoles or even the games of other companies don't necessarily have that. Like, let's face it, when it comes to Nintendo, each one has a different gimmick. But when it comes to Sony and Xbox, it's like there's really no gimmick to them. They just come out
Yeah.
and it's a box that you play.
It's corporate culture that plays a role in how the companies handle business. I mean,
Right.
Nintendo, as you just said, their culture is more toy-ish. So it's almost like they have more experience, giving a toy-like experience, but they don't really. Its software is not like their biggest, strongest suit in terms of like how to handle like the business side of it. But like When it comes to like the toys and having fun idea, yeah, they can rock it. Um,
Oh yeah.
it's and then when you look at like Sony and Xbox, it kind of makes sense with Sony and with, well, not Xbox but Microsoft. They're both corporate giants that like software is their bread and butter. Well, hardware is Sony's specialty, software is Microsoft's specialty, so they're going to have a much different view than Nintendo, as you said.
Right. They're more of a technology type thing rather than the toy aspect.
Right.
So yeah,
So,
but no, I was just gonna say it's like I think it's just like the big thing. It's just at some point like Nintendo's gonna have to just it's like either we're gonna have to wait for the old guard to kind of retire, or it's like someone's gonna have to force a change, and I'm not sure who, especially with the iron grip that Miyamoto has.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. It's funny. I always hear this meme come up that like, you know, if Sega keeps going down like the financial tank, that like, oh, Nintendo can save them, and we're like, no, we don't want Nintendo to save them.
yeah.
It's kind of an odd one, like especially with Sega's like problem. It's like I feel for them, but at the same time, it's their own fault. They're constantly in debt.
It is, and it's funny. I've been watching some of the Sonic YouTubers lately that I follow, and a lot of them are now finally like coming out and being like, no, we're not defending Sonic anymore. Sega, you got to do something about this, and you're not making good business decisions.
We'll see
It's
what
been,
happens. Oh, sorry.
I'm just saying, it's been out for so long, they should know what they're doing with their product.
Well, I think the other thing too is that that's playing a factor, and a few other people have said it, is that when it comes to like the Sonic brand in particular, because I will say, despite Sega's challenge in the arcade division, that's just the arcade division. In terms of their home console division, their sales have been through the roof. Or sorry, their home game division, and like especially the Yakuza series.
Oh yeah.
So that's
It's very popular right now.
it's very popular, and the studio behind it, which is a division of Sega, they're Sega's like dumping all their money towards that division, which is just cranking out great titles. Whereas with Sonic, because they had so many bumps along the road previously with him over the years, it's I think Sega corporate treats Sonic a little bit differently. They're a little more reserved and a little more conservative with him now in terms of what they allow the Sonic team group to do, in terms of games and in terms of how they present him.
Yeah, I think so too. Because like now he's definitely like the mascot character at this point. It's like they have to treat him like how Nintendo treats Mario. There has to be like very specific rules for him, kind of thing.
Right, and I think right now they're trying to do all these crossovers and merchandise and stuff, which, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to complain as a Sonic fan because that's great. I think they're doing it all too to kind of get the brand out there more and try to revive his legacy, so to speak, and then maybe they're just waiting for the right time to come out with the right like trailer or something about Sonic related that's new.
Yeah, I would say also COVID's definitely like had a problem with that. Like I would say in general, it's not even just Sega. I would say everyone's sort of like had to push things back because I think Sega would have like shown something by now.
Yeah, they would have, and I know the 30th anniversary for Sonic's coming up, and that's the big thing that they're planning for. Initially, South by Southwest this year would have shown off a trailer from that new game supposedly that was coming out, and they even said they were going to do that, but then that got pushed off, and then they meant to do something online to announce it, and then that just didn't end up happening. And then after that, you heard nothing until Sega themselves did like their 60th anniversary for like all their products, and then people saw Sonic was in the lineup and were like, "Oh, this has got to be it." And I'm like, "Don't hold your breath."
Yeah. But we'll see. I think Sega will be fine with this thing. Like I don't like I mean we say like they're definitely in the red, but I think right now they're sort of leveled off. Like I think it'll be fine whatever they show off. Like I think it'll be pretty big and cool.
I think that's what they're going for. They're going for the, yeah, we got nothing for it, and then like at the last minute when no one's expecting it, they're gonna drop a giant bomb.
Probably something after December, but hopefully before. Like that's what I'm like hoping is that around Christmas, I'm hoping a lot of the gaming companies just like come out with these cool announcements because I know they can't really bring anything out that's special for Christmas due to COVID, but I'm hoping they can at least give announcements that would be interesting.
I have a feeling that that's the end game. I think that's what they're going to do.
Yay.
Only time will tell with them.
Yeah. Like I said, hoping for that third DLC character for Smash, which we should have had way sooner, but oh well.
I'm hoping for you, buddy. I'm right there with you.
Yeah. What we've got so far is interesting. We've got two very unique characters in the form of Min Min from ARMS and frickin' Steve from Minecraft, which still surprised the fuck out of me and everybody else.
Yeah, that one was a shocker.
Yeah, the character's really interesting to play. Not really my thing, but I've seen some people do really crazy stuff with that character. He's kind of nuts.
He makes sense fundamentally with his build.
Oh
and
yeah.
everything.
Oh yeah, everything makes sense about him. It's just not my type of character because because they do everything they can to make the characters feel like they're ripped right from their game kind of thing. So it's like Steve for me is just a little too stilted. Like he's very like he has the shortest jump in the game. Like he's very like slow and all that kind of stuff. So for me, it's like, I don't really like playing him, but people who really know how to use him are crazy because he has all these tools that he can use, like creating blocks in midair. He can create a cart that can catch people. He can put TNT on the freaking ground to blow the fuck out of you. It's crazy. So he can be pretty neat because he can basically create more stage for himself, and it's really really cool how he can do it, like, especially when bouncing people off things to get them off stage or like keeping them off. Like really good Steve players are really evil because like if a character's coming from below trying to recover, they'll just create blocks in front on top of them and be like, sorry, you can't come up here now.
That's such a dick move.
Oh yeah, Min Min's pretty fun too because she's got like her whole like stretchy arm thing going on, so it's really interesting, especially because like her like the normal button and the special button are actually not for normal and special moves. They're for her two arms. So you're controlling each individual arm. It's very interesting. So like you can hit with one and then send the other one out as like a smash attack or something, or change up how the arms work. It's really cool how she works. I actually like playing as her a bit.
That's pretty awesome sounding. I haven't touched Smash in months. So
don't worry, dude. Like I said, for me, it's been all about like the two new characters, and that's really all I have to announce about that.
David, Blarg.
Yes.
I believe. Yeah, I know. At this point, everyone knows our names. So, you were mentioning previously at one point that there's a new KOF coming. Why don't you open up and tell us about that?
So there's not much news right now, but Twitter leaked some development photos and stuff like that of characters that are going to be in it. Right now we have Kyo, Sun Il, I think is his name. He was the main character of the last KOF. Benimaru, Leona, one of my personal favorites. And there was one more, I forget who. Feel like I'm missing somebody. I'll remember it in a little bit. I know me. But I've King of Fighters has, for whatever the reason, always been a favorite of mine. I'm super excited. Like nobody was really like expecting this to come so soon, kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm surprised too, but I guess it has been a while since 14. Like, didn't that one come out in like 2016 or something?
Yeah.
Okay,
a long time ago.
Oh, please, 4 years.
Well, in gaming terms, it's a long time.
I guess it's a good point.
Well, it's like Sonic's right up there. People are already saying it. When did we last get a Sonic game? It's like, oh yeah, 2017, 2016, Mania and Forces.
Yeah. And that went over swimmingly.
Well, Mania did good. Forces is the one that it tried.
Yeah, at least it wasn't like crap. That's all I gotta say. Like, it's not like an 06 or a Boom situation.
Which is kind of funny with 06 because there's still a group of fans remaking 06 so that it's better, and I've actually played it on my PC, and it runs so nice, and it runs so smooth. I'm like, wow, this feels like a brand new Sonic game. I actually want to play this, and I've been playing every new demo that's come out.
Heard about that as well. It's pretty fun when fans do that because, like, not to go on a tangent, but some people have been redoing the old Zelda CDI games.
Oh, you're kidding me.
Yes, they're making it so they actually function correctly, and there's also artists redoing the art so it doesn't look all mangled and weird.
That's pretty amazing, especially since the game for collectors goes for like a couple $100 just to get it.
So yeah, that'll be interesting when that's done because like those are games that actually could actually work properly if they had been coded out properly.
You know, the developers knew what the hell they were doing.
Well, it doesn't help that they were working with new technology and all that kind of stuff. And it's just like, yeah,
Yeah.
I can kind of see why it didn't quite work out in the long run, and most of it was on Nintendo, to be honest.
Yeah. There was there's a person on YouTube. His name is Matt McMuscles. I highly suggest everybody listening, and you guys too, to subscribe to him.
Yeah, I like watching his What Happens series.
Yeah,
Those are
he
great.
actually did one recently on the Zelda CDI games.
Yes, he did.
Yes, and it was really interesting and informative.
So, what's his name?
That's what I like about him. He actually Matt McMuscles.
He's friends with Maximilian Dude.
Oh, awesome.
Pretty much.
Well, I just subscribed to him, so.
Yeah,
Cool.
he's really interesting.
It doesn't just talk about video games too, but he's a cool guy. I like how he does the actual research. Like that's the fun thing about him.
Yeah. He also does like playthroughs every so often of like really not forgotten games that nobody knows what the hell's going on.
Yeah, I didn't know they made a game for that stupid Dragon Ball Evolution game. I watched that one. That was
They made,
Yep.
they made a game out of that?
Yeah.
They did.
Oh.
How
It's
bad.
it looks
It's
like a
bad.
PS1 game, even though it was made like I think during the PS3 era.
Mhm.
Alright, well, I got my Google up, so now I have to see how terrible that is.
It's bad.
Yeah, it functions though, so at least it's not like a horrid game.
It's no oh, what the hell is it called? The Game Grumps played it briefly. Mission Report Michigan or something like that.
Oh yeah, that was amazing. Like I am amazed. Like as a guy who's into voice acting, I was amazed at how horrible that was.
They want to do a playthrough of that someday.
Oh, I will totally join you on that one. Because my gods, it's like I couldn't really tell what was going on with the voice acting. Like it sounds like it reminded me a lot of like the first Resident Evil kind of voice acting, only even worse, which is amazing. And like I kind of wonder if that's what happened. It was like what if I think it was like English speakers who were in Japan and the Japanese just didn't know what to tell them to properly act. Like I think that might be what the problem was.
Well, you're probably spot on with that because if you were to use RE1 as a comparison, that's exactly what happened. Is that you have English voice actors who happen to be living in Japan or in LA who are trying to work with the team abroad, and the translation team, back in those days at least, translation teams were not as good as they are today.
Yeah, a lot of anime definitely shows that.
A lot of 90s anime.
Yes, specifically, yeah. I forgot. Like a lot of a lot of modern anime is actually really good English wise, but yeah.
Well, it's funny too. Like while we're on that subject, real quick, with like dubbing companies like Funimation, for instance. If you look into their history, if you look at their dubs from like the earlier '90s, because I think Funimation's been around for a while. I remember them being around when I was younger. Because Goku's voice actor Sean Schemmel, I've heard him for decades now. They actually would improvise that if they couldn't figure out how the translation went, they would actually just improvise and just change the dialogue mid translation to something that made more sense. Like the US team would make their own corrections and then the Japan team was like, "Oh, you're making your own corrections to our dialogue? Good, go for it." So,
We don't care. We're getting money.
so if you do listen to like a lot of older animes that they dubbed, they don't actually sound that bad.
No, the
That's great.
Funimation back in the day, and still to this day, even though I don't listen to dubs at all, they still do like a really good job. Like the only time I would really watch a dub is if my fiance wanted to watch something. She's actually interested in seeing what the heck is it called? Black Butler.
Oh God.
She just
I
wants to because the dude's sexy. That's
Yeah.
it.
Eh.
But
Let me guess. He
You
looks
know.
like a girl, right?
no, he's manly.
no, he's manly.
Eh. Okay.
I would hit that.
Oh my God.
Ain't
I
we still Sunday?
I I actually had a friend of mine who introduced me to Black Butler a while back, and I can attest that it is an interesting anime. And yes, the dude is obviously, of course, ridiculously attractive.
Out of curiosity, what is that show really about? I don't really know much about it.
TLDR is pretty much young kid comes from like an extremely rich family, needs help protecting himself from bad people that want to take said money away. Pretty much makes a pact with the devil.
Cool.
Yep, it's pretty cool.
So sexy Satan comes in to help.
Of course, Satan's sexy.
Why wouldn't he be sexy?
That's Satan, I tell you.
I mean,
That's Satan.
let's get real here. I mean, when we watch anime, has there ever been anyone ugly? Okay, well,
there are-
okay, there may be a few, but like,
They're never
Certain
main characters, though. That's the thing.
Certain hentais, definitely.
Oh Lord, we're not going there. Don't go there, please.
But that's a trope, so yeah.
paper bag over the head.
It's a whole thing, but I'm not gonna get into it.
Anyway, since we sort of went on the Satan thing, I would like to touch upon a game that I really like called Blasphemous. It's
I thought we were gonna talk about Hades for a second.
well, I'll talk about that too if you want. I wanted to talk about Blasphemous first because that's the one I had. That's the more recent one that had DLC, and I gotta say I am really enjoying it because it's neat because it's like a new game plus effects. So I actually started up a new game, played through, and was like, oh wow, this is actually a lot easier now that I know what I'm doing. And I started the new game plus, and what it does is after like the first boss, I think it lets you choose like these special rule sets you can put to the game. There's like 3 different ones, and they each like cause different things. And like the one I chose is where it like halves my attack power, but increases the power of like my prayers, which are basically spells. And it's basically it turned me into a mage, is what it did. And it's really neat because it's way more challenging like this. Plus, it also adds in a bunch of like new mini bosses that you can unlock and fight. And Jesus Christ, they are crazy.
Like Hollow Knight hard kind of thing.
Oh yeah, I'll put it this way: Blasphemous is like 2D Dark Souls.
Nice.
So I would definitely suggest it for you if you're really into that kind of thing. Plus, it has like plus it's really cool because it's like very Christian based. So all like the stuff you run into is like based on Christian mythology, and it's basically what would happen if Christianity was created by H.P. Lovecraft and designed by H.R. Geiger.
Interesting.
I'm looking.
It's like super weird, super gory, but really interesting because of it. I love the hell out of it.
I'm looking up screenshots of it right now, and it's giving me Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
Oh yeah,
vibes.
it very much works very similar to that, except you don't have a whip, of course.
Right.
0 out of 10, worst game ever.
Oh my god. But yeah, there's all sorts of fun things with the game. Like I said, it's like really well designed. Like with the DLC, they actually updated a lot of graphics and backgrounds and stuff. Like they even added a cute little puppy to the main town hub that you can pet. Yay! And they added so many more like finishers to so many enemies. Like that's like a fun thing. Like every random chance when you kill an enemy, instead they'll get dazed, and then you just walk up to them and then you just like kill them in a really horrifyingly gory way.
Nice.
So But yeah, it's a really fun game. I like it a lot. Like, I like the fact that it's very vague, like Dark Souls as well. Like the story, like it doesn't really have like you yourself are not really the hero of the story. It's just you happen to be the one who can like stop all the weird, crazy crap going on.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So, but yeah, and like you said before, there's also Hades, which I really enjoyed as well. And that the full version is out. The full version came out when they put it on Nintendo Switch, and I absolutely love that game. It's pretty much, it's kind of bloody too. Like there is blood, but nothing like horrific or anything like that. But it's really just fun because it's like it's taking like an older story. Like it's in fact it's actually a story so old that most people don't even know it. Like like many mythology buffs like myself do know about the story of like Hades and Persephone, which are the king and queen of the underworld. Persephone herself is the goddess of spring, basically. And there's the whole story that Hades kidnapped her, brought her into the underworld. Um, Persephone's mother is a Demeter, the goddess of the harvest and seasons, and she gets like so mad she just puts the world into perpetual winter kind of thing. And then like Hades is like, okay, fine, I'm sorry, and like lets Persephone go. But before that, he tricks her and says, "Hey, Persephone, before you go, take a bite of this pomegranate." And when she does, it makes it so she is now beholden to the underworld. So
Yep.
every winter, she has to go to the underworld and stay there until she comes out, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the basic story. But the game Hades takes that idea and plays with it, and especially because it brings in like a really, really unknown character in the form of Zagreus, who is the main character of the game, whom I didn't even know about. I totally did not realize that Hades and Persephone had a child. I was like, oh, I didn't know that.
Who doesn't
So that
have
was
a
pretty.
kid in freaking Greek mythology? Zeus is always bumping uglies with somebody.
Yeah, but like Zeus and Poseidon are the ones that always talk about how they have kids. Like Hades, like they never really talk about his children because he doesn't really have any. So when even I, a big mythology buff, like I learned that he actually has one child, it's just like, oh, that's interesting. So that's pretty cool. So you basically play through the game and you learn about like the real story of what really happened, kind of thing. So, and the game itself is basically sort of a Diablo-esque dungeon crawler kind of thing. So it's like you go through the game and you start out with like nothing, and you just like gain abilities because like the gods themselves are like helping you. They're like, hey, we get you're trying to get out of Hades. We're going to help you out because we think you are our cool cousin kind of thing. So and you just play through that, and then you either die or get to the end of like the dungeon, and then you get thrown back to the front and lose everything. But it's also fun because like the thing that I really love is just like the story and the characters you're talking to, because you're talking to all these like Greek mythological characters, but like they're taken into like a more modern, like humanized way. Like you're learning who they are, about their ordeals, their pasts, and all that kind of stuff, and you kind of get to know everybody, and you become friends, and you help everybody out, and you find a way of like fixing everyone's problems. And it's just like, oh, this is so sweet.
That's pretty cool. I'm actually looking at
Yeah.
screenshots of it, and it does look pretty cool.
Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. Like I said, like I've been playing more Blasphemous now that the DLC's out, but I really enjoyed Hades as well. And there's so much to do. The thing that gets me is just how much dialogue is in that game. It is insane.
Oh, so that sounds like a Metal Gear Solid game.
Oh god, it's like I'm still playing that game, and with the DLC, like I am still discovering new dialogue, and I'm just like, how many fucking hours did they record?
That
It's
is
crazy.
that is insane.
Yeah.
Uh,
And then, oh, sorry.
no, go ahead. I lost my train of thought.
Oh, that's cool. I was just gonna point out, like, I really enjoyed like you guys introducing me to Among Us as well. That game is like surprisingly fun, I gotta say.
It is really, really fun. I didn't think I was going to have as much fun with it until I started playing it a few times, more than like once, and I'm like, okay, I like this.
Oh man, I think the funny part for me is that I actually found being the imposter more fun. I was just like, wow, I didn't think being a murderer would be so fun.
Is it because you get to kill me all the time?
No, it's because I get to kill everyone.
Especially me.
Yeah, maybe.
You guys want to hear something funny about that game? When Thanksgiving came around, I posted on our friend's wall a picture or a screenshot from Among Us. It showed all the characters standing around like the circular kitchen table in one of the stages, and they all had chef hats on. And in the middle was a dead body, but you know how like the dead body looks like a piece of meat on a bone. It said it had the piece of meat on a bone, which was supposed to be the dead body. Then above the name of the person that died, apparently it said turkey.
Oh
That's
yeah, I did
great.
see that. That was awesome.
Adorable.
So that
But yeah, it's like, oh, sorry.
it, yeah, it's a fun game. You're right.
Yeah, I just love how it's so simple and yet like it brings. It's such an interesting game because like it's like the fact that it's just like the added element of actually talking with each other and trying to figure out who the murderers are. Like it brings an all new level of like just interesting to the whole thing. It's like I know we're not actually killing each other, but it's like it's like you suddenly find yourself like trying to figure out if you can trust your own friends. It's like ooh.
It definitely like sets your anxiety off and the alarm bells off internally because you're just like anybody who's in a room with you alone. You're just like, oh no, why? Like you're suspicious of every little movement they make. Like why are they following me in here? Why are they behind me while I do this thing?
Yeah, there was like a couple times where I got like super fearful. It's like, oh shit, someone's here. They're gonna kill me. Oh god.
I was like, oh, they're just doing tasks.
Yep, and
Okay,
they'd move
I
on.
guess we're fine. And I'm dead. Damn.
And then the one time Teresa actually finally got imposter and she tricked me and killed me. I was like, God damn it.
She hunted me like so hard when she was an imposter.
That's great. Like for me, I just thought like, oh, she's never gonna get it. And then like the one time she got it, I just kept around her because it's like I'm done with my task. I'm gonna try and make sure we're both kept safe because that's what my thought process was. And then eventually she just got tired of it and just killed me.
There there was one time I got killed in one of the matches, and it happened so fast that I didn't even catch the name of the person who did it. So that made it even more
Yeah.
interesting.
um,
So
oh, man. And then there's like the various like YouTubers who play it. It's just like it's so fun to watch like the whole thing go down. Especially my favorite are always people who don't pay attention. And like they'll walk in on someone killing another and they just won't register the fact that they just saw a murder. And then when they go into and when someone else discovers the body, like they're just like, I don't know.
Sometimes I feel like half the time they're playing dumb with the whole thing, but yeah.
Yeah, maybe. But still it's just funny.
it is pretty funny. It's fun. It's cool because I don't even play online games but those kinds of like party type games I will play online with friends. But yeah, I like if there's one positive thing about being at home more often is these types of party games that I'm discovering that I never really touched.
Oh yeah. That's what's great about the whole thing. It's like you gotta stay home, but you know what? There's actual things to do.
Yeah, there sure is. It's funny. I actually have to now work from home on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So in a way, it's kind of nice because it's really quiet, and I actually can get projects done on those days.
Only I had that luxury. Hopefully I'll be able to finish my college classes soon and get on out of my thing.
Well, I'm the opposite. I like to be in the office doing hands-on stuff. Routers, switches, all the IT stuff, and setting up cell phones, laptops. It just kind of sucks in a way because now I have to figure out how to structure my week more so, knowing that I have to work at home on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Because there's people who ask me like, "Did you get my cell phone done yet?" Like, nope, I'm stuck at home.
It's like, what do you think I am? Wait.
Nah, I'm just here delivering packages. Ugh, I had a bad spill last Wednesday though. Not this last Wednesday, the week before. And just like just like scraped up spots on my arm, on my hands. It was pretty bad. But I'm fine now. I'm just waiting for him to heal up. Yeah, well.
That's okay. I got a blood test and it left blisters on my arm somehow. So there's that.
Oh. Huh, weird.
Yeah, like the bandage that the tech put on, like, I wore it all day while I was at work, and then I get home, and I'm taking the bandage off. I'm like, wait, why is there like two bumps under the bandage? I take the bandage off, and it's like, oh, there's two blisters there now. Great.
That's really weird.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's like, I don't know if it was something in like the sticky material on the adhesive tape or what, but it's like right next to where they drew the blood, that was left over. So I dealt with that, but it's been a weird week. I'm either getting hurt or poked or prodded or something. I already cut my finger in a computer.
Oh, in?
In it,
Like you were...
like it's funny. I was working on my home computer, and it was a new graphics card I was putting in. This is gaming related, by the way. I just upgraded to NVIDIA 1660. I would love a 30 series, but good luck finding that. And I somehow I had to move like one of my RAM slots or something else in the case. In the process, there's a few circuits on the NVIDIA card that have like sharp like points from where they soldered. And somehow, some way, I like went to pull my arm up, and it scraped the side of it, and it left a nice gash on my thumb.
Ugh.
So,
Ugh.
so I was like, of all things.
Ugh. I'm so sorry, man.
Oh, you cut out there for like a good like 5 seconds for me.
Huh.
Oh.
Weird.
It's fine for me.
I was taking care of something. I was getting some lag with a game I'm playing, so I closed an application on it. So maybe that had to do something with it.
It could have
Maybe.
any little thing that you do on your computer while you're streaming or recording is gonna.
Well, I'm not streaming or anything.
Well, no, but like audio stuff is a stream. Even it still counts as a streaming data. It could interfere with that. But yeah, so I got a new graphics card now, and my games look a lot better. I would buy an NVIDIA 30 series, but okay, so we gotta talk about this. Like, I'm just gonna rant here a little bit.
Go for it.
And I think every other tech YouTuber gets this. You can't find an NVIDIA 30 series, and the reason you can't is not because they're not making enough of them. It's because all the scalpers are buying them.
Yeah.
There's literally, and I knew there was scalping, but I didn't know it was this bad. There's scalping bots, scripts that people are running 24/7 on computers to comb through all of the online retailers, and as soon as like something's in stock, it yanks like times 1,000 and puts it in the cart and automatically pays for it, and then it's out of stock again because they just literally bought it up in like 5 seconds. That's why you can't get a PS5 right now. That's why you can't get an Xbox Series X right now. The scalpers literally have dominated anything new and electronic you're trying to get.
That sucks.
And then if you go on eBay, you'll find them selling it for like
double the price.
Double or triple or even quadruple the price. And then they're like, oh, we're a legitimate business. We're just business like everyone else. It's like, yeah, but no one can get anything cheap now.
Well, I know what we have to do. We have to murder them.
I know, it's the only way.
That's our show, everybody. Have a good night.
Good night, everybody.
If you do want to hear some poetic justice, some tech-savvy gamers are now running bots and scripts of their own that jack up the eBay listings on them and then cancel the bids after.
Cute.
So
revenge.
So the revenge is happening. It's just people are calling on online retailers to just have better protections in place against bots.
It's tough though. Like I can't imagine how hard it is to like really make sure that the bot isn't like buying it up so quick, kind of thing.
Well, a few basic things you could do is basically force, like, have you ever done like one of those Am I a Robot things where you have to like pick the pictures? Or...
Oh yeah.
Online
We
retail.
could do that, something like that, easily for online retailers and stuff.
Right.
When it's a high price item like that.
Right, and that's a lot of people are saying, you could throw up something like that for an item like that's high demand like that. Um, but they haven't done it yet. And there's some other justice that's happening. I guess one scalper group bought up like 1,000 Xbox Series X's online as soon as they were in stock, but then their orders got canceled when they were found out it was scalpers.
Nice.
1,000? Jesus.
The bots will buy up to 1,000. There's some bots who bought that would buy up to like 3,000 or 4,000.
Yeah,
Wow.
it just amazes me, like, the amount of money, like, these scalpers have and stuff.
Well, it gets even better because they're not stupid. I got to give them credit there. Some of these scalper groups actually have memberships you pay for where they teach you how to scalp. They give you the latest info on what's the newest item that's in, and they give you access to bots that they create to help you buy up stock in things.
Sheesh.
It's literally like it's become a lucrative business now. It's shady as hell, but it's become a business apparently.
Come, brother asshole. We will teach you our ways.
Pretty much.
Yeah, but I guess Nvidia and some of the other companies that are making, graphics cards have come out and said, look, we know there's a shortage right now. We promise we'll have more stock soon. But they didn't say anything about the scalpers, so it's like, that's great, but it's going to be gone as soon as you make it available. Like right now, the 3060 just came out, which is like the lower end of the 30 series, so people were like hoping, hey, maybe we can get that card because it's like the cheapest of the 30s. No. As soon as it came out, scalpers were like, mine. People,
It's a little ridiculous.
It's become a meme now. When I look at the comments on YouTube videos about tech, it's like, oh, that's great. This new product coming out that none of us will ever be able to get.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, and then even Linus Tech Tips, he uploaded a video about the new card. He said, "Merry Christmas, scalpers."
Hey, that's awful. Well, I hope they figure out something to fix that.
Well, at some point, I think something's gonna happen because if the PS5 is not available and the Xbox Series X is not available anywhere, some people are gonna get fed up with it and be like, "Hey, you got to do something about this." And I'm sure the word will get back to Sony and Microsoft, and they'll have to figure something out.
I think just the simple fact that not many people are buying enough. Well, sorry, let me start that again. I think like for them, it's like as companies, they'll definitely have to do something about it because like even if the consoles are selling, if the games aren't selling, then it's just like, yeah, okay, someone bought a bunch of consoles and jacked up the price, and no one has these, so they can't buy the games anyway.
Right. So in the end,
So
it's like it's gonna come back to them, and they're gonna be like, "All right, we gotta fix this."
exactly,
And
they're losing money. Send up the assassins.
I think I know, right? The Japan has all the assassins they need.
Ninja lawyers.
I can take you to court and I can murder you.
Wouldn't that be great? Just like a ton of people are found like dead at their computer chairs with like a kunai with a little like cease and desist paper like right in their chest.
Like DMC, this bitch.
Right? That would be great.
YouTubers are starting to fear for their lives now. It's like, oh god, actually serious now. Shit.
It's like, don't give
My livelihood for my money. And my livelihood for my life.
And then, there's going to be that one YouTuber that's going to be like, don't give Nintendos these ideas.
The next day they're found murdered.
I know, right?
With a little with a little Mario hat on them that says, "It's a me."
Oh no. No, they just send a Wiimote through their chest. It's just somehow they just
Oh my god, that's such a great idea. I love it.
we would like to play. You won't play anymore.
Miyamoto shows up on all our screens and just like, guess what?
But just I had to share that bit of news in the tech world. That's what's happening right now.
Yeah, I didn't think it was getting like that bad.
Yeah, yeah, it's getting bad. So like, and there's even YouTube channels now that are having 24/7 live streams of like scripts running that are checking stock to show you when something's in stock. So that if you're not a scalper and you want to buy something right away before it gets scalped away, you can kind of have a heads up as being like, hey, this store has this. You better go get it now before it's gone.
I got you. That's good at least. At least people are trying to fight it and all that.
They are trying. They are trying. Um, yeah. So I'm obviously not going to be getting a PS5. I'm not going to be getting a Series X. I kind of,
I'm waiting until after the wedding.
as you
Makes
should,
sense.
as you should. Um, and I'm definitely not getting a 30 series. And plus, I probably wouldn't buy a PS5 right now, anyways, even if it was available. Like, because there's people reporting right now there's some bugs and some glitches that the console's having. Some people have had their PS5s die on them.
Yeah, the first wave always has a few problems to
right.
kink out.
Right. Hold on, guys.
There
I'm
was
getting called away.
a rumor going around too with people of like the PS5 was starting to smoke or something like that.
Oh no, that was the Xbox. That was. It's like someone
they-
showed a picture of it like billowing with smoke, which turned out to be a complete lie. But it was
Yeah, it was
hilarious.
people blowing vape
I'm
smoke
pregnant
into
with
their
fruit
thing,
soup.
and it's just
You're
like
right.
the company even came
Me
out on
too.
Twitter. Is like, I can't believe we have to actually say this, but please don't blow vape smoke into your Xbox.
It did look pretty funny. It almost looked like a smokestack. I'm like, yeah, wow, this is like even funnier than a refrigerator joke.
I just got back. Yeah. So you. Oh, did I just hear you talking about like the people blowing smoke into their Xboxes?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I saw that, and I'm just like, really, guys?
Anything for a couple of views.
Apparently.
It's like,
Ooh, speaking of smoke, I got high for the first time yesterday and played ukulele.
oh no.
God.
Oh,
Well, you are in
no.
Colorado.
So, gotta say, getting high is not really my thing. It makes you super lethargic. So, I
Yep.
couldn't really do much. I was kind of lazing around. It was hard to pay attention to ukulele while I was playing it, especially because it was like the first time I've ever played it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a nice game. Like, it's definitely the spiritual successor for Banjo Kazooie, and I thought it was super adorable, and I loved it.
That's awesome. That sounds awesome, anyways.
Yeah, I'll try playing a bit more of it after this when I have better cognitive skills.
It's like the time that, see, I don't personally smoke, but
You were with me when I did my first time.
Oh, sweet. What was that?
I was with you, so I got to witness you baked, but
Yeah, I got pretty baked. We were at a party for, I'm not going to say her name, but for one of our friends, and you can imagine who. She had pot brownies. So I took said brownie and I was just like, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to try this. I'm going to see what it's like. Ate the whole thing in like literally a minute or two.
Oh god, that was a bad idea.
Yep.
Yeah, he regretted it.
Oh, yeah.
It's
fun.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it was fun. It's just like being drunk. I personally don't like being drunk, but being high is like, it's not that bad.
It was fine for me too. I probably wasn't as high as you were, but
Oh
yeah.
dear God, yeah, it was bad.
Yeah, I was smart. Like I cut the cookie up that I was gonna eat, and even just 1/8 of that I feel was just too much.
Oh, you did an edible. That's right.
Yes.
Yeah, those
Okay.
are more potent.
Yeah, a lot of people say edibles are better just in general. Like, because I tried smoking and that didn't really do anything to me.
No.
So,
Well,
so the fact that the edible finally got me, that was like, okay, cool.
yeah, as someone, I've also tried smoking, and I don't know, I've never smoked a cigarette in my life, so I don't know, like, the proper way of, like, doing it, so it just didn't, like, get me anything. So I was just like, yeah, I'm just gonna try edibles when the time comes.
I don't smoke, and it's not my thing. But I did have friends that did it. When I was younger, because this was definitely not recent. When I was I want to say maybe 8 years ago, 9 years ago, longer than that, probably 10. I was at a friend's house. They were smoking a bong. They were toking it up in the bathroom.
Mhm.
I probably spent maybe about 5 or 6 minutes just talking with them in there. I wasn't like doing any smoking, but the room was getting a little bit foggy, and they eventually were gonna had to put a window fan because it was getting to be a bit much. I'm like, all right, guys, I can't sit here any longer. This is getting to be a bit much for me. So I walk out. I go to the living room. I try to play Sonic 3 and Knuckles. I tried so hard to play that game. And again, like, I don't smoke, I don't do any of that. And I inhaled whatever smoke was there, and I got, like, the biggest contact high.
Yep.
I felt pretty laid back. I felt pretty good. And now, mind you, I said I don't smoke. I did use CBD before. I have done that. I've done that because that is legal. You can have CBD. I at the time that's something that I did try, and CBD wouldn't do this to me. This, whatever this was they had that I inhaled, who? I'm literally in Mushroom Hill Zone as Knuckles. Clearly,
How ironic.
You were in Mushroom Hill.
yeah, it's kind of ironic how that happened. And you know, like how there's like the bridge that folds out when you're like walking on it,
Right,
and then if
yeah,
you
those curly ones.
if there's no weight on it, it curls back in. Well, I was going over that, and then like there was spikes underneath it, I think, and for some reason I wouldn't jump. I would just keep running off of it and land in the spikes. And the thing is, the checkpoint was at a spot where there was no rings until you get past that. So I kept just dying over and over again trying to get over the spikes. And finally, it wasn't until like the last life that I realized what I was doing. So
Knuckles is looking at you like, you asshole.
yeah, pretty much wasting all his lives. So
That is great, dude.
yeah, lesson learned: don't go in a bathroom with a bunch of friends who are like hotboxing it.
That's really kind of weird to do that too. Like, I would think you just want to have the window open, but I guess the idea is that they wanted to just get wasted or something.
They literally were so far gone. They were talking about the concept of cereal and life.
Jesus Christ.
Like,
Okay.
like you could have mistaken them for having psychosis because they're talking having like a psychedelic psychosis because they're talking about like life and cereal and how it just works and flows, and like you're on a completely different planet than me right now.
Yeah, like I gotta say though, I'm gonna have to cut that cookie up a bit more because I think because I feel like I just need to I just want to get to that point where it's just like I feel good, but I'm not feeling super lazy.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, a friend had to drive me home because I was just like, I don't want to like chance this kind of thing.
Oh God, yeah. That's also the nice thing about being high is that if as long as you're not wasted, you actually are cognitively still able to think properly, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It's just how much is in your system that really is gonna
Yeah,
mess with
exactly.
you.
Exactly.
And,
Like David said, it's like being drunk.
and really the effect comes from the THC. That's really where it's coming from. The THC is activates those receptors in your brain that cause those effects. That's why THC is not good for some people, and it can trigger psychosis.
Yeah.
And CBD, which is the other component of marijuana, has the anti-effects of that. That's why CBD oil is good for like anxiety and like calming you down and like mellowing you out. And that's usually why people will just take CBD just for that purpose. And CBD is not supposed to have THC in it. So yeah, it's interesting how like the two chemicals work against each other, but then at the same time they work together. So
Yeah.
It's kind of like when I have like my next big operation or something like that on my feet. For the viewers that don't know, I have clubbed feet. Obviously corrected when I was, younger, but still has
Greatest weapons.
pretty much. but yeah, like I am gonna have to have eventually a an operation eventually. So that's why, like, I believe I've discussed a couple times with my fiance that when the time comes, we're gonna do medical marijuana because the last time I did pain pills and everything like that, it was not a good time.
You're
Again,
gonna have a bad time.
Pretty much.
again, it goes back to how your brain processes the chemicals, and some people's brain receptors don't take well to certain things.
No,
Um,
I did really good in Call of Duty, but yeah, not worth it getting an almost perfect game.
it's like it's like I see a bunch of shapes and colors floating next to the TV, but damn, I'm doing so good in Call of Duty.
Mr.
It's weird. Like I literally had like a perfect game, and I think I actually got on in voice chat, and I was like, "Guys, I'm on pain pills, and I roasted all of you." Nobody said anything.
Well, yeah, because they're like,
Okay.
Mr. Carliner, the operation was a success. We have given you gorgeous women's ballet feet.
Yeah.
Blark wakes up in the middle of the operating room with like his hands in the air, like he's playing a controller.
It's like my fiance having random appendages everywhere in bed. I swear this woman cannot. Always just takes over my side.
Oh,
Oh,
does
you mean
she?
she does, huh?
Yeah. Shut it.
You said appendages, my friend. That could be anything.
I don't think my future wife's appendages are that long when it comes to that.
Sorry.
Anyway.
Um. Yeah. So, well, good luck on the next time you try that.
Yeah.
I hope you find a smaller dose that works better.
In the future, I think it would be a good idea is if we got together as like friends and just had something and like did our research and then did it together kind of thing. I think that would be a smart way of doing things.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I wouldn't mind doing it again with like close friends kind of thing. Anybody else, no.
I mean,
Nobody I don't trust.
if you guys wanted to do that, you guys are more than welcome to do that. At most, I probably would just take a drop or two of CBD oil. That's probably gonna be it for me because I like I said, I don't do weed, so
Yeah. No, that's fine. You do whatever's comfortable with you, my friend.
so that's probably the
We're not
most
gonna
I would do.
force you into anything.
Yeah, it's like I said before. It's like I enjoyed the experience, but it's definitely one of those things where I'm like, I would probably enjoy it more with like the smaller doses where it's just making you feel good, but doesn't make you like basically just sit there like a potato in a chair. Because that's basically how I was yesterday.
Yeah, I've seen friends like that after they get like a big dose. I can tell you right now, though, pizza tastes pretty good from what I hear when you're in that state.
Oh, dude, that was the other thing. Like the stereotype of the munchies was so true with me yesterday. I ate so many snacks; it was terrible.
Why am I so
Just-
hungry?
Like it was that's exactly what it was. I'm just like I'm sitting there and I'm like, it's been half an hour and I'm hungry again. I guess I'll eat this bag of Cheetos now. Half an hour later, I guess I'll eat this bag of Doritos now. Half an hour later, I guess I'll eat this like little pastry I have.
It's like, where did all these snacks come from?
I was just glad it was like a bunch of the free snacks I've gotten from various people. This is like one thing I like about the delivery service is that a lot of people have these little baskets outside their house that say like "Thank you, take a snack," and I'm just like, "Oh, sweet!" So I'll take a little bag of snacks from them. It's really cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Halloween was really fun with that because there's like tons of people with all these like little bags of candy outside. It was great.
That's good. At least people were trying to socially distance for that as best as possible.
Oh yeah, people were. Oh yeah, most people are fine. It's really only just the assholes that you have to worry about, which thankfully are few and far between.
The carrots. We haven't had too many issues over here.
That's
yeah,
good.
Neither have we. We haven't had too many issues here. I was gonna say, if we're on the topic of edibles and gaming.
Oh my god.
It's funny.
Yes.
I really think like the fast food industry really knows how to capitalize on both groups of people. Because like now you notice a bunch of fast food restaurants are open like super late now. So
Oh yeah.
so like they know, and then you get like when you get like the Mountain Dew partnerships with Call of Duty combined with like the Taco Bell partnerships, it's like okay, you guys like know gaming culture well enough that like if you get a gamer in front of a TV screen and you get them high, you're, they're gonna be up till like 2 or 3 in the morning wanting food.
Oh yeah. Like the fun thing, it's like even the ones that don't even stay up that late are still going late. Like for instance, like the end of my work week, I always go to Five Guys, and they're like open to like 10 and 11 now. It's like really crazy.
It is pretty nuts. I think Taco Bell's open till like 2 in the morning now.
Yeah.
Something
I mean,
like that. One of them I know was like 24 hours, but I can't remember which one.
I mean, I was shocked to even find out Applebee's is like open till like 2 in the morning at some locations. I'm just like, Applebee's 2 in the morning?
Oh yeah, like yeah, them and Denny's and a
Applebee's.
couple of others. Like the reason they do it is because of like the people who are partying. They're just like, oh, all the drunkies are coming in to sober up. Let's get some extra money in.
Pretty much.
It's a business model that works. I mean, I'll tell them that. I'll tell you that it works. Um. Anyway, yeah, fun times.
Yeah, this will be interesting if any of us have kids. Like the stories we're gonna be able to tell and be like, yeah, there was literally a plague that ravaged the earth.
This is yeah. We literally will be. We're gonna be those boomers that are gonna be like, you didn't have it like we did.
Okay, Grandpa, time to go back to bed.
You
But
don't
it killed hundreds of thousands of people.
see. That's the thing too. You could just pad onto it, and they don't know what really happened.
Oh no, you don't even have to necessarily pad. You literally could just talk about all the crazy shit that happens.
That's a good point. You'd be like, oh, so there was forest burning, and some reason toilet paper was selling out like hotcakes.
Yeah.
We couldn't buy graphics cards or the new consoles.
Hmm.
It was a rough.
People were lighting forests on fire with fireworks. It was crazy.
It was a rough time, man. I had to buy hand sanitizer from the bum down the street. And I think all he did was just pour his booze in the bottle.
Oh my god.
Pretty much.
Oh man. Anyway, bring it back to video games.
Sorry, I had to say that.
Oh no, that was a fun conversation. But I forgot about another game that I recently played called Jenny LeClue Detective You.
What?
It's this cute little detective game where you play as this adorable little geeky girl named Jenny LeClue. And basically you're just figuring out this big, like, massive mystery that's going on in her town kind of thing. It's really a lot of fun. Especially because, like, it's not just cute, it actually kind of goes dark as well. So it's like, ooh, this is actually really cool. And the character of Jenny herself is just, like, she's this sassy little sarcastic 12-year-old. She's adorable and hilarious. I absolutely love her. So I would definitely say look it up. Like, I don't know if it's necessarily a thing you guys would be into, but I found the game to be a lot of fun. Like, it has a lot of, like, that 80s kids movie kind of feel, like the Goonies and stuff, where it's like, it's definitely for children, but there's a lot of like interesting dark aspects to it kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking it up right now, and I have to say, as a 90s kid who loves old cartoons, I like the art style of how they like drew the character.
Oh yeah, it's got a lot of that like early Flash animation kind of feel to it. It's really great.
And she literally looks like she could be the sister of Dexter from Dexter's Lab. Like an identical twin.
Oh my god, you're right. Yeah, because she's a redhead. She's got big glasses. Oh my god, that's great. I didn't even think about that.
Like even her coat like looks like Dexter's like lab coat.
Yeah,
So-
it's, like save for the fact that it's blue, but yeah, definitely.
So if you
great.
so I don't know if you've got Google up, but if you really want to like see the comparison of where I'm going with this, look up Dexter Fusion Fall. If you look up like the Fusion Fall version of his design, which is more mature looking, and it's more anime styled, which Cartoon Network really did do this. They had an online game called Fusion Fall, and they redesigned all the characters to be anime styled.
Yeah, is it still going? Or did they like cancel that a long ass time ago?
That shut down in 2014, and I was so sad when it shut down because like I got to play like maybe 1 or 2 rounds of it, and it was late in its development. It was funny. I was one of the first people who signed up when it first started back in like back in like 2009. I was one of the first people who signed up, and then I like played 2 rounds of it, and then I got an email saying we're gonna shut down soon, and I never got to play like 1 round of it before it went offline.
Yeah, I forgot about that game. Yeah, he definitely. Yeah. Oh my God, he basically
Right?
is. Oh my goodness, that is hilarious.
Right? Right? It's awesome. Um, I like. It's funny because like they really made some of the like the cartoonish characters look really cool as like anime styled characters. They even aged them up for the game.
Yeah, I'm
So
looking at it, like I'm seeing like the characters from Oh God, there's Finn. Yeah, that's cool. I didn't know Adventure Time was in it. Yeah, I'm liking like the how the Powerpuff Girls look. They look adorable. And they got the characters from that what was that game, that show called? It had like the characters in there all named after a number, like number 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5.
kids next door.
Next door, yeah, the kids next door has got like number 5 here. She looks really cool. I like how the hat's still covering her eyes though. It's great.
It's pretty cool how they pulled that off. It's like when I first saw this, I'm like, all right, I really hope Cartoon Network partners up with like an anime studio someday and does something with this.
I think they did with one because I know there's the Powerpuff Girls anime.
Yes, that is true. They did do the Powerpuff Girls anime. That was in Japan only initially, and then it finally
Yes.
got a U.S. dub. But
I'll have to watch it sometime.
for the U.S. dub, though, they had one of like the major anime dubbing studios here do it. Otherwise, I was actually expecting for the U.S. dub they were gonna like have the same voice cast from the regular show do their roles again, but that didn't happen. And one other one-off while we're on the same subject, Cartoon Network did do something else that was anime related that they directly like got involved in. There was an episode of The World of Gumball where they actually hired an anime studio, I think Studio 4C, which to do some of the episode anime styled on purpose.
Yes. I remember. I know which episode you're talking about. It's one of my favorite ones. It is freaking hysterical. But yeah, it's called The Rage. I totally, yes, totally watched that episode. It's not just the anime part's funny. The whole episode is funny. Like they make references to all sorts of Japanese culture. Like there's video game references. There's various other anime references. Like there's so much hilarious stuff. It's great.
Yeah.
But yeah, although to be honest, like the Wonderful World of Gumball is just a great show in general. Like it's sad that it got canceled, but I'm glad that like it still got a good 6 seasons in, and even in the 6th season, they were still on the ball. Just everything they did.
Yeah, they really were. I actually watched it like a rerun a few days ago of it while I was on vacation.
Nice.
Yeah, I still like the show. I actually, speaking of Cartoon Network, and this is gaming related, I downloaded the Samurai Jack game off Steam. There is a Samurai Jack hack and slash game that's 3D, and it's made in the Unreal Engine.
Oh, so it's like a new one?
It's a new one. It just came out like
Battle Through Time.
Yes, I've been playing that. I was playing. I think I got it back in September. I haven't had a chance to touch it recently, but it seems like it's a long game, so I'm still playing through it. It's very Unimusha like.
Makes sense.
If you were to take Unimusha and cross it with some of the fast-paced combat of Bayonetta, that's kind of what you would get with this game.
Cool.
So, that's been fun. I'm a huge Samurai Jack fan, like, huge. So, I had to get that.
It is an awesome show.
Well, eventually I want to cosplay him.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Hot.
Okay, Blarg. Okay.
In 1 year, you get all like jacked. you
Get it? Jacked?
Oh yeah. Oh damn! I didn't even think about that.
I'll do myself out.
No, I was losing a lot of weight. Recently gained some holiday pounds back. All that turkey I was eating. But
Can't blame you on that one.
hope to lose it again, and hopefully, I'm disclosing some information here, but I don't really care. I recently had some blood work done, and they found out that like some levels of like hormones are lower than they should be for me. So if that gets corrected, assuming that's what it is, because I'm waiting for the other results to come back. Put it this way, I could be super manly man depending on the treatment.
Oh.
So I may gain muscle and I may gain a lot of things out of it. Because if you guys recall, like I think you've seen the pictures on my own personal Facebook. I used to actually be in pretty good shape when I was younger. I think I posted an old photo of that once, me posing like after I just got done with a workout at the gym. I'm tooting my own horn, I know.
Nothing wrong with that, my friend.
And I remember I used to gain muscle pretty quickly. I used to be able to do it no problem. And I thought all this time that, oh, well, this is just a byproduct of aging. You know, that was 10 years ago. It may not be necessarily, based on what the first test showed. So if the second test confirms it, I may be getting treated for this issue, and I may be able to start gaining muscle like I used to again.
Eat.
So,
Very nice.
Very, very nice. And a whole lot of other benefits that would come from it. If I'm just going to be blunt...
Really?
Yeah, if I'm just going to be blunt, I'm just going to say it, testosterone.
Behave yourself.
Now, I know, I'm going to be like full Chris Redfield in a year. I know, I'll be punching boulders.
And then suddenly he became the most attractive man in the world.
I go to the cons, and there's just light shining upon me everywhere I go.
Just a light and angels singing.
Your girlfriend's in the corner. It's like, seriously?
Look, honey, could you like turn it off? I'm trying to sleep.
Like, God damn it!
Before you
It's
know
like, Dexter, I can see it in the next room. Stop.
it, before you know it, and Morgan Freeman's narrating my life.
Oh my god.
Yes, he became just too hot.
Literally, his skin glows too much. We have to wear shades.
Oh my god. Everyone's blind.
Oh my god, that reminds me. There's an old Sonic Flash cartoon that someone did where it showed Supersonic, but like, you know how like when he goes hyper, he like changes not just gold, but he goes like gold, white.
Oh, you guys like the rainbow colors going on.
Right, like all the bright colors of the spectrum that he's like cycling through. It shows him like approaching all the characters. Like first he walks up to Tails and like he's about to say hi while he's in his like hyper state. Tails like has a seizure and falls over from the colors. Everybody he walks up to try to like interact with, they like just pass out.
That's great.
Like even Shadow like goes and falls over.
That's great. Oh man, I don't have any more new games. I don't think I can talk about though. Anything new on your end, David?
So I've been playing like a lot of the new Call of Duty that just came out. I'm actually having a lot of fun with it. I actually feel like it's probably one of the most balanced so far, I feel like. Other than that, new patches coming out on Final Fantasy XIV on Tuesday, so I will be busy that day. And then,
What new
was the
class are
other-
they introducing?
no new classes, just new raid content. I will probably be streaming that, so...
My god, no new
please-
class.
no, not until the expansion, probably.
Still, I wait for the janitor class.
I actually just finished probably one of the, like, I don't feel like it's well known, but it's definitely one of my favorite games of all time called The Messenger.
Oh yeah, I have that. I haven't played it yet though.
You will definitely need a walkthrough for the second part. The first part is like easy because it's standard old school Ninja Gaiden, just go forward kind of thing. And don't die. But other than that, it it's a lot of fun. It actually has a good story, good humor. Um, yeah, I highly recommend it.
Cool. Maybe I'll play that after I play a bit more ukulele.
Mm.
Like I have so many games I need to go through. I'm like looking through my
Yeah.
list now, and I'm just like, oh crap, I haven't played this game, and I've had it like for 2 years.
Yeah, I have a huge backlog that I need to take care of.
I'm in the same boat as both you guys. Like, I look at my Steam backlog and I even my PS4 backlog. I'm like, yeah, I have a lot of catching up to do.
Dexter, there's something that you might be interested in.
Oh,
The makers of Initial D are making 4-player now.
yes, I heard about that and I saw that Sega is working on that.
Yeah.
That's,
So it is more popular than Wangan, but yeah. So they're doing that. Doubt we'll ever get it, because we're already behind a couple anyways.
we probably won't get it until Tokyo Attack gets it.
Yeah.
Oh wait, that's right. Tokyo Attack went out of business. Damn.
Yep.
Yep. So yeah, we'd have to rely on round one to do it, and they're a little bit behind.
A little bit.
I mean, eventually they're gonna have to get rid of Wangan 5 and replace it with something
No,
newer.
they really need to, because like everyone's asking, um, who makes Wangan? Was it Konami?
No, that's Namco, Bandai Namco.
Namco. Thank you. Asking Namco is like, look, guys, we seriously need this. Like what the hell?
Well, I think their hand will kind of get forced anyways because there's gonna come a day where Bandai Namco is gonna shut down the servers to 5, and they're gonna be like, you need to move to 6, and I'm sure at that point round 1 will do it.
Yeah.
So
It's just getting a little annoying that they haven't for so long.
they're holding out, and I think eventually they're gonna do it. I'm not too concerned about it. They're eventually gonna do it. So we just have to wait and see. Oh, speaking of Initial D, so if you want to disappoint yourself, there's
Liking where this is going already?
like this is a 1 rated game disappointment. There's a PC version of Initial D that I didn't even know existed. It was made by a US team. It only has 1 song, and it is the biggest pile of crap you will ever see. I didn't think it was. I didn't think there was an Initial D game for PC. So like, I was on the Initial D wiki, and they're like, "There's a game for PC." I'm like, "Wait, what?" I looked into it, and it's like, "Oh yeah, it's the most poorly rated game in the series." Yeah, what's it called?
What's it called?
That's what I'm finding out right now. so you can join in the disappointment.
Pretty much.
It is Initial. Oh, hold on, that's wrong. Give me a sec. I want to say it's Initial D Awakening, but I could be wrong on that.
Never even heard of it.
Mountain Vengeance. That's what it's called. Initial D Mountain Vengeance.
Sounds great.
It's like if you took. It's like playing a potato. It's like if you took PS1 graphics and you actively try to find an effort to make them look worse.
When did this come out?
2004.
Sweet Jesus.
Yeah, we're talking the Windows XP days. This thing came out. I'll send you a screenshot, so you can.
Yes, please.
So you can see how terrible it is while we're still on the chat. Oh man. I think I could just dump it in the group and you all can see it. Alright. There it is. On Discord, you guys can probably
Check
see
this
it.
out after my dungeon.
Seriously? It looks like it came out on PS1.
And it plays one song over and over again on the menus, on the, I think, the ending screen during the race.
God, that even I am like, no, this is terrible.
And then the studio that made it is Canopy Games.
Sounds fantastic.
It's like something you'd find at the bargain bin in Walmart. But like, this doesn't even meet that quality. And the company is still around.
Somehow.
Really?
They're based out of England. We're passionate about playing and creating games. Combining their skills, they began creating courses designed to cover all areas of game development.
Oh, I'm sure. That is ridiculous. Just wow.
Yeah. Canopy Games. They're doing a fine
Thanks,
job.
I hate it.
Anyway, that's what I have for Initial D related stuff. Discovering that pile of garbage.
Oh, I actually was just looking for my Steam lineup, and I totally forgot this other game I played called Little Nightmares.
Oh, I need to play that.
I heard about that.
Oh, I love this game. It's so wonderfully creepy.
Little Nightmares.
But yeah, it's a little 3D platforming game, and you're just randomly this little childlike thing in what looks like a raincoat, and
Yeah.
you have to run through like a what looks like a human world, but like everything's all fucked up, and you have to like try and keep away from all these like weird like I don't know like morbid human looking people that are trying to like eat you and stuff. It's really interesting. Like the story is super vague. Like I still have no idea what's going on with this world, but it's so interesting. Like I had a lot of fun playing it. Like I loved like the platforming is really nice and tight. Like and just like the fact that it's just this really creepy world. Like it almost felt like I was like I love Spirited Away by Studio Ghibli. It feels like this is Studio Ghibli. It's sort of like a fucked up version of that movie.
Oh man. I think I know which movie you're talking about.
Spirited Away.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Sorry, I missed it. Either you cut out or
It's cool.
something. I think you cut out, and I just didn't hear that part.
Oh my god,
Oh,
that
okay.
looks like shit. Jesus Christ.
Oh, did you just look at the picture?
Yeah, I just so boxy.
Like I said, it looks like something out of PS1.
I told you, it's like they actively tried to find the effort to make it the worst racing game possible. I can only imagine how it sounds. But this Little Nightmares game does look pretty cool. I'm looking at screenshots
Oh yeah, no,
of
I
it.
highly recommend it.
It looks really cool.
Like I said, I absolutely adore it. Like it's just the fact that it's got this weird, creepy vibe to the whole thing, and it's made by Namco as well.
Really?
Yep,
Wow.
and they're making a sequel, which I'm really excited for. And even better, the game had free DLC I didn't even know about when I bought the game, but it like started downloading. I was like, wait, there's DLC? That's so cool.
That's awesome. And I'm actually looking into the game development right now, and it looks like Namco helped publish it, and then the studio's based out of Sweden. So
Yeah.
Namco's really expanding their reach.
Yeah, Namco is like one of the smarter gaming companies, I think, because like they're like I never hear anything really bad coming from them. They're just like, yeah, we have problems, but we've been able to fix them over time. Like we treat our employees well. We're making really cool games. We like to experiment, and it's just like, wow, you're like the cool uncle of gaming.
Honestly, if there's any of the gaming companies that are still really on top next to Nintendo, it's gonna be Bandai Namco, because they've just expanded their market reach into like everything. Because now they've got multiple development teams that are not just, in Japan. They've got, developers like this one out of Sweden that they're working with to make games. They
They support their games.
support their games. they've got income from Tekken, the Tekken community. They've got the Tekken thing going on, and obviously Wangan makes them money, so they can just be like, let's just do whatever we want.
Yeah, I think they just have some genius in their sales department. It's just like, okay, this things are changing. We need to do stuff to go along with that.
Also, they developed both the Smash game for Wii U and they developed the latest one for Switch.
Yes, they did. Nintendo was just like, hey, we need help making our fighting game, and Namco's like, hey, we have experience with that.
Speaking of, I think is there a new Soul Calibur coming out?
There has been one. They just came out with DLC. Hallway came out for them.
Oh, I know they're still doing that.
Okay.
That's cool.
That's right, Soul Calibur.
Is it 7 or 8? Oh, 6. Okay.
Yeah, it came out in 2018. Okay, yeah, so I've been behind on Soul.
A lot of people have. The game hasn't been getting like that much. I mean, with COVID too as well, like it's not helping a lot of games.
Yeah, I forgot this was even a thing. Like, I thought we were still on 5.
So did I, and like I completely forgot there was a new one. It's like Dead or Alive. Like I was playing 5 for the longest time on my PS4, and then 6 came out. And I haven't even touched 6 or done anything with it.
Oh, that's right. This is the Soul Calibur that put Haomaru from Samurai Showdown as a character, right?
That's right.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Is there any? Oh my God, they put. Wait, serious? Oh, yeah, I'm looking at the DLC. Wait, Sigma's in the game?
What?
I'm sorry. What? What the hell are you looking at?
I'm looking at the season passes. That like season pass 3 has like 4 characters from other games, like freaking Soul Bad Guy from Guilty Gear, Kratos from God of War, Sigma from Mega Man X, and
Wait,
one of the Yakuza characters.
That's nuts. Holy crap.
Yeah. Either that or this is a fake thing and I'm just being like
That-
pulled in.
definitely fake.
Okay. Like I wasn't sure. Like it was just like, whoa, what? Because it has like Haomaru in there. So it's just like it has to be real, right?
Oh, let's see. I'm looking up the DLC characters now.
Sorry about that.
No worries.
Not a problem. DLC.
Okay, I'm gonna actually look up the real list. Because that would be cool though if Soul Bad Guy showed up in there.
That would be pretty awesome.
I wish I could play Guilty Gear again. It's been so long, but there's no like PC version of it.
There is.
There is?
Yeah.
Wait, the newest one?
Yeah, it's PC.
Oh my god, I am dumb. Let me look that up. It is there.
You're welcome.
Oh my god, it's
Remember
only
I was
35.
talking-
Nice.
I was talking in the group chat about
Fight
Plus
Cave?
R.
Yep, Vlasar. Yep.
And Fight
that's it.
Cave?
Yep. I remember that now.
Yeah.
It's funny, in a Maximilian Dude video, he was actually talking about like how far fighting games have come. Like how the community has gotten so strong that it's actually pushed a lot of the fighting game developers to like expand their reach to like other platforms and more PC ports.
Mm-hmm.
Dang, I wish I knew which version was like the newest one though.
What,
There's like
for
3
Guil-
different. Yeah, there's like
for
3
Guilty?
different versions of Xrd, and I'm just like, I don't know which one's the newest one.
Plus R.
Let's see. Well, I'm looking at Steam. They've got Revelator, Sign, and Rev 2 Upgrade.
Rev 2, I think.
Rev 2 is the highest one right now.
Okay, I'll look that up. Was there any like DLC characters for that game?
I think so.
Oh, that's right. I remember playing with Jin. Like they had added like Jam back into the game.
Mm-hmm.
It was fun playing as her and beating up Jin with her. I was like, sweet, I'm actually doing well. I think it's because he just doesn't know how Jam works.
Yeah.
While we're on the topic,
And amazingly enough, I remembered.
while we're on the topic of fighting games, I'm gonna look up Tekken.
Oh yeah, is there a new one for that coming out? It's been a while, right?
It has been a while.
There's been a couple new fighters introduced, but nothing like, super big.
Well, we know there's gonna be a new one coming because 7 ended on a cliffhanger.
Literally.
Literally, like 7 ended on a cliffhanger. If you play story mode in 7, it like Jin is just waking up from his coma and like the world is like getting fucked. So like
Well, I thought when you said literally, I thought you meant like they're doing that like the fact that he was being like thrown over a cliff again or something.
I mean, yes, that happens before the end, the like after credits cutscene, but like, yes, it's literally like on a cliffhanger. It's like, wait, what? What's going on now?
Oh, that's great.
And like the whole story mode is from the perspective of like a reporter,
Oh,
and he's
that's
like,
neat.
and he's like narrating the whole thing.
Huh, that's a new way of doing things.
Yeah, real interesting.
Cool.
Um, so nothing new Tekken related except talking about Tekken 7 Season 4.
Yeah, it's still going strong.
Even Street Fighter V is still going strong, weirdly enough.
Well, because Capcom actually supports it, it's their only moneymaker right now.
Really? Oh, wow,
Yeah.
I thought they like, gave up on that.
Yeah. So, anywho, I'm gonna have to get something to eat pretty soon. So, I
Yeah.
think I'm ready to wrap this up.
Oh, yeah, it's almost like 8 where you guys are.
Yeah, and
Yeah, I need to get food.
according to the recording, we're currently at 1:35, 1 hour and
Yeah, I
35
think that's
minutes.
good for now.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's more than good. I'm sure this thing's gonna take forever to upload.
Aw. Alrighty, guys, it was great to talk to you again.
Yeah, great
Great
talking
to
to you
see
guys.
you all.
We will chat again soon. Take care, guys.
Very nice. All right.
Bye.
All right,
Bye.
bye.